After court battles and protests, the vaccine mandate for New York City public schools is now in effect. So how many teachers didn't show up for work today?
Timing out those showers and thunderstorms, what you can expect by morning.
Ask anyone on Long Island where to find the best potato chip, and they'll point you here. New York Live shows us what makes North Fork potato chips so special. This is News 4 Now for October 4th. I'm Adam Cooperstein. Starting today, at least one dose of the COVID vaccine is now required for all New York City public school teachers and staff. So if they don't have it, they're barred from school campuses. It remains to be seen exactly how many teachers refuse to get the shot and how schools may be disrupted. But as of Monday, Mayor de Blasio said 95% of school staff have been vaccinated. That includes 99% of principals. And get this, 18,000 shots were doled out in just the last week and a half. Weekly testing, not an option for city school staff. And after back and forth court battles about the mandate, the Supreme Court decided not to take up the case. Teachers union leaders say this has been a challenge.
I'm confident in the schools and the teachers and the staffs. What they've been through, I'm angry that they keep getting one challenge after the other, but they keep rising to those challenges.
What does 95% vaccinated mean? It means our employees and staff members, as we've said, are doing their part to keep their community safe. It means there is an actual bubble of safety around our children in their school buildings.
Of the 3,000 Department of Education staffers who applied for medical or religious exemptions, close to 1,000 were approved. For now, vaccinated substitute teachers will fill the staffing gaps, and those who refuse to get vaxxed, they're going to be put on unpaid leave, but will maintain their health coverage for a year or get a severance package. It's a subway rider's worst nightmare. A woman shoved into a moving train during the Monday morning rush. This happened at the busiest subway station in the city, Times Square, 42nd Street. Police say a woman pushed that victim into the side of a train on the 123 line just after 8 a.m. They say that woman suffered facial injuries, but she's stable now and should be okay. Why she was shoved, that's still a mystery, and no one has been arrested. We're hearing from a passenger on the Spirit Airlines plane that caught fire on the runway in Atlantic City. You see those flames shooting from the engine on that flight headed to Fort Lauderdale Saturday night. Spirit Airlines says a bird flew into the engine just as the plane was taking off. 109 passengers and crew members scrambled to escape down the plane's emergency chutes. Pasquale Yima and his 98-year-old mom were the last two to exit.
Someone started from the back screaming, "Fire, fire." I had a moment of panic. I'm like, I have to protect my mother. And if it means that we're going down again, then we are.
The FAA is now investigating, and Spirit says the plane is getting a thorough inspection. We're getting new information about an illegally registered van that was being used as an Airbnb rental in the East Village. The host, known as Nancy, has been deleted from the company's website, along with her other dilapidated van rentals. This comes 1 week after a YouTube video review helped cops bust 7 vans in Manhattan for a list of offenses, including expired license plates.
Hi there, I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Maria LaRosa, and we were sort of in and out of showers, some of them heavy, not all the time, but not all day, and that's how it's going to be even from this evening and into the overnight. There is a period, though, especially after dinner and then towards later evening, that we have the best chance to see a few thunderstorms along with those showers. Some will be heavy, not expecting severe weather, but it could be a problem out on the roadways, especially during the evening hours, and that is out of here by tomorrow morning, left with mostly cloudy skies. But what's triggering it is a boundary, a front, and that's going to help bring down that humidity just a hair, just enough by tomorrow afternoon. Certainly by Wednesday, it'll feel a little bit more comfortable, a little sticky out there for today. As temperatures and the air dries out, the temperatures drop down a bit. 58 to start the day in White Plains, 62 in the city, into the 60s from Long Island and down the shore.
What's the secret to making the best potato chip? New York Live is with the Long Island chip maker that's a favorite in the tri-state.
The the potato chip is without a doubt one of America's favorite snacks. And if you ask anybody on Long Island who makes the best, they will point you in the direction of North Fork potato chips. And that's exactly why I've made the trip to Mattituck in Suffolk County to Cider Farms, otherwise known as the home of North Fork potato chips. So Martin, when people think about this area, they tend to think about wineries, they tend to think about farm stands. But if we were to go back when your family came here in 1910, what would this have looked like?
It was basically all potatoes down Oregon Road. As a kid, my father or my mother would drop me off at the homestead, and basically I had jobs or chores. And it was either paint the fence or pile bags or clean machinery or whatever that was left for me for that day. And she would pick me up, probably have here lunch with the cousins when we found time. We played baseball, but there was an energy here.
You are the third generation here, and you are the person who is responsible for starting these chips.
Yes.
Why chips?
The chip idea came from a friend who was moving out of business. I had known about the business, and he said, now is your time. And so Carol and I, and to this day I remind Carol when she figures it's been too tough, I've had enough, just remind you, you said yes also.
Anybody who knows me knows how many potato chips I have consumed in my lifetime, but yours are by far my favorite. What is the secret?
Well, the Long Island potato, basically the soils here on Long Island are ideal. When we started, it was cottonseed oil was the universal oil. Okay, we're gonna follow cottonseed. And then the broker told us, no, why don't you try sunflower? It's a little bit different, and they're starting to get into the sunflower. I said, you know something, that makes a lot of sense. You can't be way out of line, but you have to sort of differentiate yourself a little bit. And we did with sunflower oil, and we've done that for 20 years, so I think we're set to continue.
Maybe it's the land, maybe it's the potatoes, maybe it's
oil.
the sunflower oil,
Right.
or maybe
Right.
it's the love.
The search is on to find the person on a skateboard who vandalized the new George Floyd statue in Union Square. It was barely up for 72 hours before that vandal splattered paint on it. And News 4's Ida Siegel talked to the woman who first reported it and shows us how a community came together to quickly restore that statue.
It was just after 10 in the morning, bright sunny day, when passersby noticed the statue of George Floyd, just erected here at Union Square a couple days ago, had been vandalized.
It had to be somebody that was sitting there waiting and watching. There was not one cop in the vicinity.
Kira Carter was there just before it happened. She took this picture, then went for a cup of coffee and came back to this a mere 20 minutes later. She and her fiance informed the park rangers, who hadn't noticed.
So my fiance, he said to them, hey, did you guys see what just happened? And they were like, what are you talking about? And he said, the paint on George Floyd's face. And they say, get out of here. What, you know.
Police say surveillance video shows a man on a skateboard rolling up to the statue and just throwing the paint on it. He then took off. Word spread quickly on social media, and soon enough, volunteers showed up to fix it. So did Floyd's brother, Terrence.
When I got here and I saw the community, the volunteers working on it, and I found out they was volunteers, they wasn't like city people doing it. Right. I realized I just love this love and support.
Terrence Floyd was here on Thursday when the statue went up, and he remembers the last time a statue of his brother was vandalized months ago in Brooklyn.
Does it surprise you that this happened?
No. It disturbs me that it happened, because I'm wondering why do you hate my brother so much?
The George Floyd statue sits next to the likenesses of Breonna Taylor and Congressman John Lewis, an exhibit called See Injustice. Now organizers say it's an unfortunate example of that very struggle.
You can see the statue has since been fully restored. That's thanks to the volunteers. Police are still investigating, and they do have that surveillance video to look at, but at this point they have not made any arrests. Reporting from Union Square, Ida Siegel, News 4, New York.
Thank you so much for joining us on News 4 Now. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.